everyone. I'm Melissa McAllister, and you're listening to The Melissa Made Show. Now, for decades, I've dedicated myself to helping women break the cycle of dieting, navigate through all the fads, and change their lives through my nutrition coaching. Now, each week, I'm going to talk about everything from deep nutrition, mindset, self-care, the ideal workout routine, tips on how and why to implement intermittent fasting in your life, my favorite recipes that are not only crowd pleasers, but they're actually healthy for you, and so much more. Now, with small and consistent changes, you can defy aging while living a happier, healthier, and more heart-filled life. I'm so excited to show you it's possible with the right strategies that are so simple to adopt. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Melissa Made Show. So once again, I'm in a different area. Still trying to play around here in Mexico with a really good place to give you good content. So we've decided to try the bedroom. So we've tried a closet, we've tried out in the open, now we're trying a bedroom, and just hopefully this is a pretty good sound for you so that you enjoy the podcast, because it's really important to me that not only I give you really good information, but that you enjoy listening to it instead of going, man, I wish her audio was better. I hate that. I don't care about the video. I just got done working out. You get to look at me the way that I am at the moment. You'll never see me in a beautiful blouse and my hair done and my makeup done. That's just not me. And I know you don't care about that because most of you guys don't even watch the video. You just listen to the podcast, which is what I do as well, especially on my walks. But today I wanted to talk to you about ways to make better choices in your diet. And I know you're like, huh? But I always am racking my brain on ways that I can kind of get inside my own head to be able to help some of you that struggle with making the better choices, the better decisions. And so I have to first and foremost preface this by saying the anti-food police will probably be a little mad at me because I'm going to talk a lot about a poor diet, okay? And I know some people believe that there's really no such thing, but I do. I think that this body of ours is designed to be fueled by certain things and not to be fueled by other things. And I have to preface as well that I understand every once in a while grabbing a few Oreo cookies tastes great. And I totally agree with you. But if you look at the statistics and you look at how much of these foods that we actually eat, we're not just grabbing a little bit. And so please understand, when I talk about a poor diet, I'm not talking about having the occasional ice cream cone or the chips and guac, which I tend to be having a lot lately. I'm talking more about the things that we have on a daily basis that seem to make it so we can't reach our goals or feel our best. And I want to help you there. Now, if you know me at all, you know I am an incredible empath. I actually think it's a problem, to be honest with you. I love things and people and plants and animals so much that sometimes it consumes me. And that even comes down to my own body. I am very, very empathetic of my body. And I think that plays a really important role in the decisions that I make. So if I'm standing in a buffet line and there's all of these choices in food, what makes me decide to go for the salad? Why do I start with a salad? What makes me choose the vegetables and the meats, and then maybe leave a little bit of room for something, a bite of something here or a little bit of dessert there? But the majority of what I ate, 80, 90% was good for me. It was fueling my body. So what goes on in my head when I'm, at the crossroads, looking at something that probably when you go to a buffet, 80% is probably not very good for you, or not serving you, versus the 20% where you're like, okay, this is actually could be pretty good for me. And we gravitate toward the 80%, especially if it's things that you don't want to cook for yourself. You're like, well, I don't know how to make this, right? It's a pain in the butt to cook this chicken fried steak. So I'm going to get it because I don't get it very often. Totally understand that. But why can't that just be a little tiny bite or two to be satisfied by the taste of it, but to fill your gut, fill your tummy, and to fuel your body with things that are going to serve it? So empathy. plays a really big role. So the first thing I want to do is talk to you about, what do you consider junk food, right? So some people, it'll go all the way to a pizza is junk food. And to other people, it might be those veggie straws that you get that I fell victim to when those, you guys don't talk about those multicolored, dehydrated vegetable flour sticks, which really are not good for you at all. Anything that's broken down into a flour typically isn't good for you, but I fell for that. And so you may not consider that junk food. I do. And so I want you to know where I'm coming from. That's junk food. But what do you? So I want you to answer this for yourself. What do you consider junk food? So usually it is high in salt, it's high in sugar, and it's high in those really refined fats. And it's got the artificial preservatives and the artificial colors. That's pretty much the definition of a junk food. Now, I know it's going to taste good, but it's not going to serve you in the fact that it's going to fuel you. It will fill your belly and it will satisfy you, but is it actually going to fuel you? Are you going to walk away from that meal feeling better and your body functioning better? Or is your body going to kind of wreak a little bit of havoc because you decided to have this meal? Again, my anti-food police, I'm not talking about the occasional meal. I am talking about the daily habits. In fact, according to the National Center for Health Statistics, nearly 40% of Americans eat fast food or junk food every day. 40%. That's not good. I would love to see that get way, way, way down and have it maybe once a week instead of having it every single day. So I'm going to give you some statistics that I hope you have the ability to either remember or to write it down. Escribir. I'm trying to learn my Spanish. So every time I hear a word that I think I know in Spanish, it pops in my head, which is a good thing, right? I'm still far from being able to have a conversation with anybody, but my goal is one day to be able to do a podcast in Spanish. Might be a few years. If this podcast is still going, which is doing very well, thank you, by the way, but I digress. Listen to this. Share these statistics with your kiddos. Share or have your teenagers listen to this podcast if they just have a hard time understanding why. Why should I eat healthy? You know what? I don't really feel that different if I have a bag of Doritos versus having a chicken salad. And the bag of Doritos is so much tastier. My dopamine levels go pew. With the salad, not so much. Here's why. Listen to this. On average, your heart beats 100,000 times a day. 100,000 times a day, literally without a hitch. If there's a hitch, you know what happens. But you can trust that this muscle in your body is going to beat for you 100,000 times a day to keep you alive and well. That alone. Why does that not make you, when you look at a huge plethora of foods, do you not go, okay, heart, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me put some goodness in me so that I can make it easier for you to beat instead of making it a struggle. See, that's the empath in me. I'm like, I feel so sorry for hearts when I see someone that is very sedentary and might be extremely overweight, morbidly obese. The first thing I do is I feel for their heart, because I know in that chest cavity is a muscle that's probably surrounded by a lot of fat, pushing so hard to keep you alive. And I think you deserve, or you should, help that and be in alliance with your heart and be like, you're doing good for me. I'm going to do good for you. Okay. We breathe about 22,000 times a day. Can you take a deep breath for me right now? 22,000 times a day. Your lungs are a huge predictor of your mortality. You want strong, pink, healthy, vibrant, able to take in deep breaths of air every single time. You want that. Do you know anybody that has emphysema or COPD? It's sad. It's really, really sad that their lungs are struggling so hard, and they are struggling and they're trying so hard to pull in that oxygen for you to keep you alive. You blink about 17,000 times a day. I mean, this is an involuntary reaction that your body does to keep your eyes lubricated and allow you to see this beautiful world, right? We take it for granted. The fact that if our eyes stop blinking, we lost that muscle control. Would our eyes be able to see the beautiful ocean, the blue sky, the birds, the animals, your baby walk for the first time, right? So important. And we have about 6,000 individual thoughts per day. We have it was 20 something thousand thoughts, but a lot of them are reoccurring. I don't think I have that many men listen to my podcast. If you are a man, let me know. But we know what men think about multiple times a day. But 6,000 individual thoughts, literally mind-blowing. Your mind is your biggest energy source. Takes the most energy to keep you sharp, to help you retain those wonderful memories, to help you solve problems. And you need to do whatever you can to help the eyes, the brain, the lungs, the heart. Okay. Fascinating, right? That alone makes me go, okay, I'm going to grab myself one of those chicken breasts or the piece of salmon. I'm going to get myself a whole lot of vegetables. And I'm going to start with that, knowing that I fueled my body. Even better, always start with a salad. But then you want to have a couple of bites of the naughty stuff, of the off-plan stuff. Go for it. But always think about that and say, okay, I fueled my body. I'm helping it function at its best. Now I can go ahead and have a little bit of this or a little bit of that. All right. So here comes, I don't want to say the bad news, but some more statistics that I found. And I will have links for everything for you. And I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to remind you how important it is for you to have a healthy diet. And in my heart of hearts, I know you know what that means. I've been talking a lot about that lately. I think we're getting so confused from the carnivores to the vegans to the 6 meal a dayers, to the people that eat 1 meal a day, to people that say vegetables are killing you, to people that are saying you should mostly eat vegetables and plants. It's really confusing. And I'm so sorry. But a healthy diet is foods, for the most part, that just don't have a nutritional label. Foods that are going to go bad, that have an expiration date on them, right? The ones that don't have the added sugar, the added salt, a lot of those refined processed oils, any of those preservatives whatsoever. Real food. Okay. Focus on that and try to get all 3 of your macros. Yeah, you nailed it. A variety is good too. But see, then you're going, oh my gosh, Melissa, you're starting to complicate it. But a variety for your gut is essential, right? So try to have different vegetables, different colored fruits, different varieties of meats, different kinds of fats. If you just tell yourself, okay, so here in Mexico, there's a beautiful store that has all these fruits and vegetables. I've shown it on my stories, and there's a couple of vegetables, and I'm owning up to this right now, that I walk by because I'm like, I really don't know how to prepare it. I've never had it before. I need to stop that, because that diversity of trying something new and different, number one, I could absolutely love it. Number two, it's so good for your gut to get something new and different that's healthy, to help just create more of those healthy gut bugs, which I am learning is mind-blowing. Which is why I'm doing school. I chose to do the school for gut health versus hormones first, because your gut is everything. Okay, so get lots of variety and diversity. Have you tried countless diets, but you're still seeking your nutrition sweet spot? Are you trying to get results on your health journey to feel your best without being too restrictive? Now, I know how you feel. I've done the diet thing, but there never was that one that totally worked for me. And this is exactly why I developed the MAID diet. Now, I found that rather than restrictions, it's best to have a set of guidelines that allow you to customize based on your preferences and bio-individuality while staying on track with your health and fitness goals. I found the nutrition sweet spot. And as a health and nutrition expert, I get asked all the time what, when, and how I eat. And as someone who's passionate about education and helping others, I want to share that with you. Now, the Made Diet ebook lays it all out for you, taking the guesswork out of dieting. The Made Diet is a lifestyle plan that incorporates moderate protein, adequate fat, decreased carbs, and an introduction to intermittent fasting. The ebook gets right down to business by answering your most frequently asked questions. It includes thoughtfully designed recipes and a 7-day sample meal plan to start you off right. It will honestly kickstart your weight loss journey and have you losing inches in your very first week. Now, intermittent fasting combined with these nutritional guidelines is honestly the piece that so many people have been missing when trying to get results. This ebook has all the information you need in a format that is condensed and to the point so that you can get to your results. If you're ready to get started, the Made Diet ebook is available immediately on my website for just $9.99. So head over to melissamadeonline.com/made diet to take action towards feeling your best today. And once you do, oh my gosh, please let me know it's working for you. I am so honored to be a part of your health journey. Okay, back to the show. Okay, heading back to some statistics that might surprise you, but might not. Okay, number one is obesity and type 2 diabetes. Now, it's estimated that nearly 80%, I'm gonna say that again, 80% of type 2 diabetes cases are preventable. Can we let that sink in for a minute? And I know my audience, most of you care about your health, but you have loved ones that may not care as much as you do. So you're fighting the good fight. It's worth it. Okay, 80% of type 2 diabetes cases can be prevented. Now, if the person eats right and they avoid tobacco products and they exercise, they have an 80% less chance of getting type 2 diabetes. Depression. How many people do you know that are struggling with depression right now? Now, according to a 2015 study done by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, highly respected, diets that include high levels of carbs and sugar were associated with greater levels of depression. So they just said carbs and sugar, but I want to, they're not talking carrots. They're not talking corn, I'm sure. It's more the chips, it's more the donuts kind of a thing. So I want to differentiate that there. This means that while science has shown that a better diet can help you feel better physically, it may also be the key component in helping you feel better mentally. Okay. And physical health is very, very challenging if you don't have good mental health, right? If you're just not feeling well, you're not going to get up off the couch and go for a walk or pick up some weights, right? You just don't feel it. So we got to work on that mental health first. And by cleaning up that diet really has been shown to help lower the symptoms of depression. How about your teeth and your bones? One of the reasons I love those DEXA scans is because that's what it was created for, was to show you how dense your bones are. And mine are doing really well at this point. But according to the International Osteoporosis Foundation, when your diet lacks calcium and vitamin D, your bones become weaker. And when your bones are weaker, you risk serious injury, listen to this, or even death from minor falls later in life. I know that's not how you want to go. You don't want to go because you misinterpreted a curb or you didn't see that last step, and it ends up taking your life because you weren't strong in your diet, which gave you the calcium and the vitamin D to have those strong bones to withstand a fall and be able to keep you intact, right? Where was I? I said that. If you aren't worried about the health risks associated with weaker bones, because you're like, no, my family's always had really good bones. A poor diet can also lead to weaker enamel, gum disease, and tooth decay. Those of you that have had a toothache, have had to have a tooth pulled, have had to have a root canal, any of that, painful. But imagine if we don't take care of ourselves now, later on in life, and we start losing our teeth, there go the great steaks and being able to chew all of these wonderful foods because we don't have the strength in our teeth to be able to do so. Here's a big one, cancer's a bitch. Right? I bet you know somebody that has battled cancer, has won the battle, did win the battle, is going through cancer right now. Could be you. If it is you, I'm praying for you. But according to the NCD Alliance, low intake of fruits and vegetables are estimated to cause roughly 19% of gastrointestinal cancer. It's a lot. Increase your wonderful fruits and vegetables and 19% less chance of getting gastrointestinal cancer. Yeah, I'll do that because I like fruits and vegetables. This same organization estimates that approximately 40% of cancers can be avoided by simply maintaining a healthy diet, increasing your physical activity, and of course, avoiding tobacco. You can do those three things, right? To avoid 40% higher chance of getting cancer by eating those healthy foods, getting up and moving around, and of course, steering clear of tobacco. I'm pretty sure most of you are doing that now. Heart disease and stroke, the number one killer, heart disease. So the Non-Communicable Disease Alliance, meaning that, it's not like the flu where you have to be around somebody else to get that disease, estimates that poor diets account for about 31% of coronary heart disease cases and 11% of stroke cases, 31%. Just because you choose to eat a little bit healthier, you have a 31% less chance of that wonderful heart that beats 100,000 times a day for you. You give it a better chance and an easier opportunity to keep you alive and well by choosing a better diet. Every chance that you can, okay? All right, the immune system. That's a biggie right now, right? Everybody wants that strong immune system. And I don't think we're ever going to be out of the era where people are very scared of catching diseases and sickness, and they wear, masks, which have been mandated again here in Mexico. Every time we go to like Walmart or we go to Costco, these big stores, we have to wear a mask again. And it's just something, if it makes other people feel safer, 100%. But the best way to get your immune system nice and strong is your diet, right? So eating poorly can also decrease your body's ability to fight off illness. Research has found that those with a poor diet are more likely to fall ill and take longer to make a full recovery from illness, right? So you and your twin sister both get sick. One eats healthy, one doesn't. You're going to snap out of it so much quicker. And then you're going to have to take care of your sister, which I know you would do anyway. But think about that. Being sick is terrible. I bet all of you right now in the last 3+ years can think of at least one time that you were in bed going, kill me now. This is terrible. Wishing it would all just go away. And it can a lot faster with a better diet. All right. So one of the most important things that Melissa preaches that you hear continually is your sleep. Sleep is so important for health, for longevity, and your cognitive function. And I'm here to tell you, a poor diet really, truly affects your sleep. So you hear from me all the time not to eat right before you go to sleep because digesting takes a lot of energy. And when you're trying to digest a fresh meal, kind of takes away from all the other important things that your body's supposed to be doing when you sleep. So it's not about weight gain. It's about health. You do better without a bunch of food in your belly when you go to lay down at night. But poor nutrition is one cause of poor sleep. Unhealthy diets can lead to obesity, which is correlated with conditions such as sleep apnea, snoring, and restless leg syndrome. Snoring. So it not only is a sign you're getting poor sleep, but guess what? Your partner's probably getting some pretty poor sleep too. So you're not only doing it for yourself by losing that weight by eating healthy, you're also going to give your partner a little bit better night's sleep as well. All right, the last one, your brain, right? It has been proven time after time after time that your memory and your long-term cognitive function is so dependent on your diet. So, like I said, for my teenagers or my young adults that are listening right now, that just don't feel the effects of the energy drinks. And listen to me, I did it too, but I caught on quick enough that there's no ramifications. I wish I were you. I wish that I knew this stuff in my teen years, but I really didn't. It took me getting into college before I was like, whoa, I'm not doing myself a service here. I really got to clean up because I would sit, I'm a master Tetris and Mario Brothers, Nintendo player. I mean, I will take any of you on. Do you kids even know what Tetris and Mario Brothers is? I think so. It's still pretty cool. And I would sit and I would have Coke and Doritos. Yep, that was my teenage afternoon snack. Sedentary, eating junk, drinking junk. You know, Tetris, I think, worked my brain a little bit. There was one positive. But anyway, that kind of eating style, what you do, it's kind of like skin exposure to the sun without having any long-term protection and getting really sunburnt after really sunburnt. You don't really see the effects of that until later on when the skin cancer starts to show up. Basal cell, a couple of times. This is the same way. You're not going to really feel that decline in your cognitive function, things like dementia and Alzheimer's. If you don't know anybody that has that, it's up there as one of the most terrible ways to age, 100%. You don't think what you're doing today is going to make a difference 30, 40, 50 years down the road. I'm here to tell you it will, unless you clean it up and you start making better habits now to go through your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, instead of eating this way and just being like, I feel fine now, and never changing your way. So when you become 21, it becomes beer, Coke, and you just, continue on this life of, a more standard American diet, a little bit more alcohol than you should have. And then the brain takes a toll. I hope you see where my healthy beating heart is coming from by giving you these statistics, because it really works for me. And maybe you're not as crazy empathetic as I am. And you're like, and I'm not, there's no judgment here. This may not be for you. This podcast may not be something that helps you, but for my people out there that you are highly empathetic, you're like me and you keep treats in your car for the stray dogs and the stray cats, and you donate wildly to animal rescue. You will be served by knowing this information and keeping it in the back of your brain. So the next time that you have to make that decision of, what side of the buffet am I going for? What am I going to eat first? That you'll think about the beating heart, the healthy pink lungs that are trying to give you a nice deep breath to keep oxygen flowing through your system, your eyelids that are blinking for you constantly, maybe really fast if you're trying to flirt with somebody. And what was the last one? Oh, and your thoughts. How many thoughts you have in a day, individual thoughts that keep your brain sharp. It all comes down to good diet. And think about that kind of stuff when you have those crossroads, because I guarantee you, if you have a big heart for other people, have a big heart for yourself as well, and make the right decisions to keep this incredible piece of machinery working at its best for you, because you are giving it prime fuel. All right, you guys, I can literally say that today you woke up feeling prepared. And I know tonight you're going to go to bed making yourself proud. Have a great day. Wow, we've reached the end. But before I leave you, I'd love to hear from you. After all, it's not every day that someone reaches out and asks for your opinion. And to me, your opinion does matter. So please share this episode with anyone that you think needs to hear this message. And remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. My name is Melissa McAllister. And until next time, thank you for being your own health advocate.